Hey, I'm FTFE, welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what having a mostly American audience does to my sleep schedule. Welcome back to another Monday night debate. We've got a good one tonight. I am just going to be moderating, trying anyway. You've watched me, you know how this normally goes. But we have someone on the channel who's not been with us before. You may have seen him on Modern Day Debates a fair few times. His name is TJump, and he will be debating BumpyEarth420.
If the world was flat, then that's a problem. Love to hear Bumpy's position on if radar works, can we bounce radar off the moon, and can we calculate distance? Because if he agrees with those three things, then that kind of demonstrates that the world is round.
So your 3 points are bouncing radar off of the moon, calculating the distance to the moon, and the fact we've been to space.
Well, the lunar eclipses, but yeah.
Radar, so radar, lunar eclipse, and space. Okay, thank you very much, T-Jump, for that.
So, I don't claim a shape. I don't know what shape the Earth is. I've never seen the Earth, like, fully with my own eyes, so can't tell you a shape, but I can tell you it's not a globe, because there ain't no curvature. Water exists. The existence of water debunks the globe, because you can't put water on a spinning ball without it flying off. So, kind of screws the globe there. And then there's no Earth-based Coriolis. Proves that we're stationary. And that goes against the globe model.
Okay, all right. So just to confirm, your 3 main points are that there's no curve that you think of, that water exists, and that you say there is no Earth-based Coriolis.
Yep.
Bumpy, have you heard of radar?
Yes.
Does radar work?
Sure.
Can we bounce radar off the moon?
I don't know.
Okay, that's a fair point. So there's many videos of YouTube on doing this, and they do it with equipment that you could build in your backyard. Would you be willing to build one and try it yourself?
Well, why would I do that?
We can tell the distance of the moon is 250,000 miles at every point during the night, no matter who's measuring it. What would that tell you about the Earth?
Well, it wouldn't tell me anything about the Earth. It would tell me something about the moon. It would tell me that the moon is, what, 250,000 miles away.
Sure. So let's imagine that here's the Earth, and here's the moon. So if the moon is 250,000 miles away here, like imagine if you're the power button, the moon is 250,000 miles, that means it can't be 250,000 miles here, because now it's the length is longer, right? Now it has to be farther away. So if here it's 250,000 miles, here it would have to be longer. So if it's 250,000 miles in every direction, that means it has to be going like in this shape, doesn't it? Big curve. It has to be equidistant at every point.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. Maybe. I don't know. I'm waiting for you to prove it first. You know, I mean, we could talk about hypotheticals all day, but I mean, that doesn't get us anywhere, right?
No, it does. So again, the proving thing,
well,
you're not going to believe.
We have to assume that the Earth was a sphere.
So if the moon is always 250,000 miles away, it means it doesn't ever get further away from you, doesn't ever get closer to you. That means it has to go in like a curved shape, right? Because that's the only way it could always be the same distance away, right?
I don't know.
Okay. Is there another shape it could go in and still be the same distance away? Because if it's going in a line, right? You see, like if the current distance between the disk and the red thing is shorter than it is here, right? So if the moon is going in a line over a space, then the distance has to get further away, right?
Yeah.
So
I think so. Yeah.
So it can't be a line. So the moon can't be going around the Earth like this. So what are the other possibilities other than it being like a big curve around you, like a circle?
I don't know.
You can just Google bouncing radio signals off the moon. There's the first video that pops up should be a guy bouncing a signal from Australia to El Salvador. So this is not a hard thing to do, and anybody can do this in their backyard. Just buy a ham radio.
But how does a radio signal bounce off the moon?
So remember when I asked you understand what radar is, right?
Yeah.
And radio signals are radar.
Okay, so it hits something and then comes back. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Or you aim it up to the moon,
Yes.
and you shoot something. So
Yep.
what's coming out of the satellite?
Radio waves.
Okay, so the radio wave hits the moon, right?
Yep.
And then it comes back.
Yep.
So are you saying that the moon is physical?
Well, I don't know of anything non-physical that radio waves can bounce off of, so I would think it's physical.
Well, can you prove that the moon is physical?
Would you
Sure.
like to see a video of someone doing this? Like we can get Flat Earth, like Google it and show you a video of someone doing this. Would that matter to
That
you?
would just, no, I don't think that. I don't understand how that would prove anything about the Earth being a sphere. I don't know. I'd say it would be evidence for the moon being 250,000 miles away, but science doesn't prove anything. So
Yeah, you're right. You're right, completely. So that's all we can do is just provide evidence.
yeah, so why would I be like, oh, yep, the moon's 250,000 miles away if it hasn't been proven?
Well, so if it has evidence, and that's the hypothesis that has the most evidence, isn't that what you should believe?
Well, I mean, you could believe it, but I don't go off beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a belief. Why would I believe it? What else is there other than beliefs?
Yeah.
Truth. I mean, if something's right, it's right. You know, if something's truth, it's truth.
And if you believe something is true, is that a belief?
Yeah, if you believe that it's true.
Okay. So if there's any idea in your head that you think something is true, is that a belief?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that.
Okay. Is that going to take a while?
I'm pretty sure, like, if you believe something, then it's just a belief. You know, like say I look at my hand. I can see my hand. I know I have a hand. I don't believe I have a hand. I know I have a hand.
Well, so you said
know
there's
something or you believe something, like, or you either know something, or you don't know something, or you believe something. I'm sorry, I don't know. It seems like a bunch of word salad to me.
Because if it's the same distance away, no matter what the number is, the point is here is what is
away. You even admit it, it's not the same distance away.
Okay, so there's tiny differences. If there's tiny differences, what's happening to the shape? If there's only a tiny, like, so if the moon is here and then the moon is here, that's a big difference. That's 3 times. So the moon is now 3 times further away from the red dot. That's a big difference. That's not a 10% difference. That's a huge difference. So if there's only a 10% difference, what's happening? So we know there's only a 10% difference. What's happening to the moon? It has to be going like this, doesn't it? It has to be like staying the same distance away from the red dot the entire time.
Well, that's your claim. You're saying that that's how the moon moves.
Yeah. So if we measure the moon, like in your backyard, you build a ham radio, you measure the distance to the moon, it's always within 10% difference. What's happening? That's my question. What can we say about the motion of the moon if it's always going to be 10% away?
So now it's within 10%?
Yes. So it's within 10%. So there's only a 10% difference in the movement. What can we say about the movement of the moon? What kind of shape is it moving in?
I don't know. I don't shoot radars at the moon. I don't do that. So I don't know.
Okay, so again, we're just hypothetically imagine we see this the case, and we say that.
Why are we talking hypotheticals? Why can't we just get to the nitty gritty? Why are we talking hypotheticals? Can't you just show evidence of you shooting radar off the moon, or what?
Bumpy, just work with the hypothetical for the sake of the conversation. It's how we can move on the conversation, okay? So just work with TJump on the hypothetical, please.
When you look out, you see no curvature. It's kind of odd because there's supposed to be a sphere. So it doesn't really matter about the moon. It matters about what you're standing on, you know? Like, I don't see the correlation here.
You asked how would this work on a globe Earth? It works like this. Same distance away the entire time. Just goes around like this the entire time. That's how it would work on a globe Earth. It works really, really well. So if the world's flat, that causes a problem, because if the moon is always the same distance away, then it must crash into the flat Earth at some point. because it's
Why would
going.
it crash into a flat Earth? Never. I don't understand. What are you thinking of when you think of flat Earth?
If the moon is the same distance away the whole time, that means like this, the tip never gets farther away. Like what happens if I move the tip? Well, it's going to go in a big circle, right? It's going to start on one side. It's going to go to another side. Like if it's always the same distance away, like the length of the pin never changes. That means it starts here.
Yeah, but you said it's not the same distance away, though. That's the whole point. That's the
same
whole
equals.
here.
Okay, so if it changes by 10%, it's going to do the same thing, same conclusion. So I'm not sure why you keep bringing that up. It has to go around the pin, and it means it's going to start here on the surface, go up, and then crash back into the surface.
So you're assuming that the moon is physical.
So I just want to know, like, as I said before, I'm saying here's the stuff that we saw that convinced us that the world is round, and I want to know if you saw this, would this convince you that the world is round?
No.
Why not?
Because science doesn't prove anything, right?
Right, I agree.
So why would, if it's not proving anything, then why would I come to that conclusion?
What do you mean by proof? So do you think the world has been proven to be flat?
No, I think the Earth is bumpy.
So you're saying that you can prove the world is bumpy, and I'm saying the reason science can't prove things is because we can't show we're not in a dream. We can never show anything with 100% certainty. So we never believe things because they've been proven. And if you think
you can show you're not in a dream because you're awake. You're awake, right? Are you not awake right now?
So if you were sleeping, how would you know that you were sleeping?
Because you wouldn't be awake. I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you're awake, you know you're not dreaming. Right?
So you claim now that there is no curvature. So what would you have to support that?
So what you're saying is there's infinite possibilities, right?
Yes.
That's pretty much what you're going to, right?
Yes, we can't prove anything. That's the reason science can't prove anything.
There's infinite possibilities. That's insanity. You're shooting something up at the moon. That's nothing to do with the Earth. You're just shooting up at the moon.
But it's observable just like the mountains are.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying the moon doesn't exist. So you're assuming that the moon is physical.
That was TJump, first part of evidence, and I think he's adequately presented that. So why don't we talk about the thing that you presented first, that you suggested first, and that was there is no curvature. What evidence or anything do you have to back up the fact that there is no curvature?
There's no curvature. I mean, what else do you need? Look outside. There's no curvature. Get on an airplane. There's no curvature.
So you don't see it, therefore it doesn't exist.
Not necessarily, but yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Well, if you can't see a grain of sand and the curvature is smaller than a grain of sand...
You're saying we're too small to see curvature? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Okay, so if the smallest thing we can see is X and there is a thing smaller than X, would we see it?
Oh, fuck. I don't know. I don't know.
Possible means you don't have to prove it. You just have to say there's no logical contradiction. Possible means no logical contradiction. You don't need to prove it.
Oh,
is it possible that unicorns exist? Yes. Do I need to prove it? No, because possible just means there's no logical contradiction.
So you think it's possible that unicorns exist?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Unicorns are the national animal of Scotland. What's your problem?
Can I do a litmus test here? Can I do a litmus test real quick?
Wait, what do you mean by possible? So you don't think it's possible unicorns could exist?
No.
What do you mean by possible?
What do you mean by possible?
No logical contradiction.
You're the one who thinks in infinite possibilities, so yeah, of course you're going to think unicorns could exist. That's crazy.
Yes.
That's insanity.
All right, so what was your litmus test, Bumpy?
All right, is Caitlyn Jenner a man or a woman?
Well, we're not going there, okay?
Why? What?
Because that question is irrelevant, and the only answer matters is what Caitlyn Jenner says. So that's not something.
He's over here saying unicorns are possible, but you can't
when
answer
we're
it.
talking about, well, let me be clear. Let me be very clear. When we're talking about someone's gender, the only thing that matters is what that person thinks. Okay, we do not have the right
No,
to
that's
say
not what matters.
whether that person is a man or a woman, and I'm not going to entertain that kind of nonsense on my channel. If you have some actual questions around science to give him a litmus test, then please. But we are not going to be anti-LGBTQ on my channel. Simple as that.
Okay.
I am an ally, and I always will be, and I will not accept anything that is anti-LGBTQIA.
So you failed the litmus test.
No, right. Do you have
Yes.
anything scientific to talk about as a litmus test?
That's kind of scientific, right?
No, it's not. It's your personal opinion about
Isn't that biology?
gender, and I really don't care what you think about that. It's not relating to this conversation. Do you have something relating to this conversation that you could give TJump a litmus
I'm just
test?
trying to figure out who I'm talking to, man. This guy's saying unicorns are possible. How do you measure something that's not? How would you measure something that's not curved?
You wouldn't measure a degree of change. So do you have measurements that show no degree of change?
I don't need measurements.
Do you have any measurements of any flatness? Did you measure flatness somewhere?
Well, no, the Earth's bumpy, right? You agree that there's mountains, right?
Yes, there are
Bumpy?
mountains. Yes.
So,
bumpy.
so you know what flat is, right?
Yes.
So you would know something is bumpy
But
because you know something is flat, right?
don't mountains have curve?
I think more like hills.
Is that not a curve?
Hills are more curved, yeah. I don't claim a shape. You claim a shape.
Sure. So the fact that it's bumpy doesn't mean it's not curved.
The fact that it's bumpy, yeah, it doesn't mean it's not curved. But
Right. So if there's a really bumpy surface, would you be able to see if it was curved?
yeah,
No. If you lived on something that was curved, if it was big enough, you would not see the curve. Like
Prove
if you
it.
imagine, yeah, I'd love to. We should probably
I
create
bet
a
you would love
YouTube
to.
video of
go
zooming in
ahead.
on a curved surface. So if you imagine a curved surface that is no bumps, and we just zoom in smaller and smaller and smaller. So if you imagine you're standing on it and you just start shrinking tinier and tinier and tinier, the curve on the screen is going to start to go like this, and it's going to start to flatten out, right? It's going to be like if you look at a basketball, it looks really curved. And then if you look at, it's like zoom in on it closer, the curve starts to shrink a little bit, right? You see less curve, it's smaller, right?
No, you prove that.
So if you got closer and closer and closer, you continue to see less and less and less of the curve, right?
Not necessarily.
Wait, so let's go through this
I
again.
can still see
So-
the curve. I can still
You can
see the curve when you put
You
it
see lots
close.
of, I didn't say you couldn't see the curve. I said less curve. So just here's, you can see the whole curve. Like you can see a lot of curve.
Yeah, but you're saying that
Less
you
curve.
wouldn't see curve though.
No. Wait. We're not there yet. We're not there yet in the argument. So we're just starting with, this is a curve. You can see the
Yep.
cup is a curve. And then if it gets closer to you, you see less of the curve, right?
No, I still see curve.
I didn't say you could not see curve. I said, could you see less of
the
the
question
curve?
here is, can you see less of the curve when it's closer than when it's further away?
You still see curve on that.
Yeah, no, that's not right.
Yes.
We're not going to do this. The direct question is, can you see less of the curve when it is closer to the camera than when it is further away? Yes or no?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Bumpy, could you like explain what the black swan is? Like what is the problem?
Yeah. Well, it's so the black swan is actually your argument because your globe has a certain amount of radius, right? 3959 miles.
Sure.
Okay. So the horizon should always be a certain distance away. Okay. At 1 foot above sea level, the horizon should be, what, 2 miles? In the black swan photo, the horizon is like 10 miles away. How's that possible?
Refraction, like your eyes see optical illusions a lot. The fact that you see optical illusions is a
But
thing.
if you say it's refraction, that debunks your geometry.
So refraction is a thing about eyes and light. It doesn't change the shape of the Earth. The fact that light.
It does because you can't get a radius because you can't draw a straight line to a curved surface because
So what is the fact that
everything is refracted.
when we can send you pictures of space, they exist. Like we can literally show you the entire curve of the Earth.
No.
Yeah,
Sorry,
we
bud.
can.
Yeah.
Can you prove those were taken in space?
Yep.
You know that's a second law of thermodynamics violation, right?
That's a straw man of the second law of thermodynamics.
Wait. I want to hear how it's a violation of the second law of thermodynamics. What is the second law of thermodynamics?
Entropy.
No.
Entropy isn't a law of thermodynamics. What does it
If I was
say?
a
What is the
vacuum,
second law of
The air would
thermodynamics?
fill the space.
No, Bumpy, he's asking you specifically what is the second law of thermodynamics specifically. Can you cite it for us?
I don't know specifically, but entropy.
Well, it establishes the concept of entropy, and do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's It's sorry, brain fart. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
So, but we understand that there is a force, there is something there that causes this, that they're interacting in some way.
Gravity's not a force.
Didn't say gravity. Didn't say gravity yet. What do you mean gravity's not a? What do you mean gravity's not a force?
Gravity's not a force. Don't you know?
My God.
No, I don't know that. Please enlighten me. What is gravity if it's not a force?
Gravity doesn't exist because it's heavier than the air.
Heavier meaning something's pulling it down or pushing it down or causing
No,
it
it's
to
just
fall?
more dense in the air. It's more dense in the air, dude.
Okay.
Right?
So
If it's lighter than the air, it's gonna rise, right? If it's less dense in the air, it's gonna rise, right?
if it's less
Like
dense than the air, in some
Like
cases, yeah.
helium balloon?
Like we can.
Yeah.
Paper clips are more dense than water, but they float on water, so density doesn't matter there. You're saying that gravity, that stuff falling, is a result of density.
I'm saying what is falling. So you are the cause of it. You picked it up and you dropped it. You let go of it, right?
Well, no, I don't control density, right? Like I don't make things more or less dense.
No, but you actually picked it up, okay? Like say that pen, it's not doing anything. It's just sitting on the table, right?
Right, but we're asking why does one object go down and helium go up? What is causing the one to go down and one to go up? What is the thing doing that?
Well, it's first off, the helium balloon rises because it's less dense. It's more buoyant than the air.
Right. So
right?
density is the force.
Yes, good job.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So it's not me. It's density that is causing things to fall and.
No, you caused the pen to fall. You picked it up and you dropped it. It wasn't doing anything until you touched it. You caused it to fall. You gave it the distance, and then let go of it. It's up above the ground, then you let go of it, and it falls.
I don't think you understand what the concept of falling is.
Right?
I have no idea, how to even begin to explain this to you if you don't understand your own model enough to know that you're saying density is the cause of falling. So you're saying it is the force of buoyancy that is causing things to fall or to go up or down.
Well, to go up, yeah.
Okay. So
Buoyancy.
that's a force, right?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a force or not. Maybe. I don't know.
What is a force?
Just something that happens to something else, right?
A force
I
is
don't
something
know.
that happens to something else.
I love it.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's great.
I told you, I don't
Every
know.
physics professor in the world just had a coronary.
If we put water into a container and density was the only thing, then we would see it push equally in every direction, but we don't see that. For some strange reason, water pushes harder on the bottom than the top. Why does it do that?
Because there's a container.
All right, Bumpy, look at this picture I've got here, right? This box is a container, okay? Those dots inside are particles. Now, at the bottom, as you can see, there's a pressure of 15 psi. Yet at the top, there's only a pressure of 1 psi. So what is causing that 14 psi difference between the top and bottom of the container?
The container.
How is the container doing that?
Because it's containing the air.
Okay, now please explain the mechanism behind how the container causes that pressure to be different.
Because there's a container. You need the
Sorry,
container
TJump, I tried to help.
to have any pressure. You need a container to have pressure in the first place. So
Yeah, I know.
We've literally seen it. We have pictures from it. You can buy a ticket now for lots of money to go to space yourself. Richard Branson's plane.
what space? And you believe that, right?
Yep, they have proven it.
So you have a belief.
Yes.
So you have a religious belief that people have been to a skyback.
No.
So you just said yes, and now you're saying no.
So not
A
all
belief
beliefs
is not a
are
religious
religious
belief.
beliefs. Yeah. So all
But yeah.
flowers are all roses are flowers, but not all flowers are roses. All
Well, you know
religious beliefs are beliefs, but not all beliefs are religious.
You know the globe is a religion, right?
What's a religion?
I don't know. What is it?
Well, you're saying the globe's a religion, so you must have some definition of religion, right? Like, what's a religion?
It's a belief. It's a belief in something.
No.
So any belief in anything is a religion? Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, yeah.
So I believe I am holding a cell phone. Is this a religion of the cell phone?
Oh, hail the mighty TJump cell phone.
Yeah. So if you bought a ticket on Richard Branson's little plane
No,
flight
you
thing,
do it. You do it.
I want.
It's your. That's your belief, bro. Why
Right,
don't
but
you do it?
I want you to believe it too. So I want you to do it. I want you to experience this. So if you went to space and saw this, would you believe it?
Space doesn't exist.
Okay, so if you went to
Doesn't
space,
exist.
you'd believe it, right? So if you saw this, if you went into a spaceship and went up into the atmosphere and saw this, you would believe it.
Well, yeah, I would know it because
Cool.
I would have done it.
So
Right.
so if you buy a plane ticket on Richard Branson's flight and he shows you this, you'd believe it.
Well, yeah, I would know that the Earth is a globe,
Cool.
right?
Cool, fantastic.
You would know that, right?
So lots of people have done this, and so they know that the world is
Well,
round.
you say that people have done this, but you can't
Yep.
prove that they've done it.
Doesn't this photo prove it?
No, it doesn't prove it.
How not?
You said prove is just being able to see it.
No, you're the one that's saying that you prove things by seeing them. So show us your proof of the container.
Me to show you a container when you just admitted that there is a container.
Yeah, I say the container is the universe. What do you say the container is?
Well, it could be the universe. Like just because you have
Okay,
an
so
idea
there we
of
go. The universe is a container. We're agreed. Okay, what's
You know?
your universe then?
just wherever the container stops.
Where does show us where the container stops?
I don't know where it stops.
How do you
Where
know
it
it's there
starts.
then? You said you can only prove things by seeing it.
Because you have air pressure.
No, you said you can only prove things by seeing it. So when did you see the container?
No, I said you can prove things by seeing it. I'm not saying that's the only way.
That
Oh,
no,
what are the
that
other
is
ways?
what you said. That is definitely what you said. So
Well,
you're
you
changing your
can't
story
have-
now. There's other ways of
you can't
proving
have air
things
pressure
other than
without a
seeing them.
container.
Is that what you're saying?
Sorry, I know it hurts. I know it hurts because you have to admit that there is a container.
Yeah,
To have air pressure.
yeah. The universe is
it
a great
sucks.
container. It contains
it
all the
hurts.
pressure in the
I
universe.
know it hurts a lot. I know it hurts a lot, dude. I know.
But
I know it really hurts.
the universe contains all the pressure in the universe. I don't know what your problem is. I've literally shown measurements of the Virgin plumb lines on this channel many times.
See, Caitlyn Jenner is a female, dude.
What?
Come on now.
Hey, don't be an LGBTQIA asshole by being against things like that. Do I have to boot you for being a dick? Stop being a transphobic piece of shit, all right?
I'm not transphobic.
No, you fucking are. Fuck you, you transphobic asshole. Fuck
How
you,
is that
fuck you,
transphobia?
and no, you want fuck off. And when you get there, you can fuck off again, you transphobic asshole.
Oh, poor boy.
No, fuck you,
Poor
you
baby.
transphobic piece
Poor
of shit.
baby.
You are the literal definition of fucking
Oh,
scum.
because you say
Go
so?
fuck
Because you
yourself.
say so?
Go fuck
Because-
yourself. Right? Fuck off, Bumpy. And when you get there, please fuck off again. All right? You do not get to come here and be a transphobic asshole on my channel. This is an ally channel. You do not get to do that here. It just proves what fucking pieces of shit flat earthers actually are. You now get removed.